Does your epoxy resin look like sparkling soda? Well, the secret to crystal clear surface starts long before you open the bottle. Welcome back to Craft Resin. Craft Resin Tabletop is thick and sensitive to its environment. If your room is too cold, bubbles get trapped instantly. Cold air thickens the resin like a chilled honey. This formula needs a steady temperature between 72 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit to release air properly. Watch out for cold surfaces too. If warm resin hits a cold wooden slab like this, it tightens up and locks bubbles at the bottom. Airflow is another hidden enemy. Fans and drafts disturb the surface and create micro bubbles. Turn off all fans for the first few hours of the cure. A stable, warm room is your best tool for clarity. Once your room is ready, your mixing technique is what matters most. Many makers stir too fast and inject air straight into the resin. Because tabletop is a high viscosity formula, those tiny air pockets stay trapped. Never lift your stick up and down like you're whisking eggs. This creates a vortex that sucks in air. Instead, mix slowly for 3-4 minutes, keeping your stick fully submerged the entire time. Gently scrape the sides and the bottom to ensure a perfect blend. When mixed correctly, the resin should look smooth and glossy, not foamy. Cold epoxy is a bubble factory. Warming your resin is the easiest way to improve clarity and flow. If your bottles feel cold to touch, your finish will suffer. Cold resin is thick like heavy honey. It traps air during mixing and doesn't want to let it go. This leads to a cloudy, bubbled finish that is hard to fix with a torch. Some makers try to warm the resin after mixing, but this is a mistake. Heating the mixture speeds up the chemical reaction too fast. It cuts your working time and can cause the resin to overheat. You also have to be careful with water. Even a single drop inside the bottle can cloud the resin or ruin the cure. The safest method is a warm water bath. Place your sealed bottles in warm water, around 85 degrees Fahrenheit, for 15 minutes. Always warm part A and part B separately before you combine them. This reduces the viscosity without rushing the cure. Warm resin pours like smooth syrup. It mixes cleaner and lets bubbles escape long before they hit your surface. Our tabletop formula is designed to be crystal clear, and warming it helps the chemistry perform at its best. Just remember to dry your bottles completely before opening them. One tiny droplet of water can ruin your entire batch. Getting a mirror-like epoxy finish on wood or stone is all about managing the surface. If you see bubbles rising after your pour, it usually means the material is releasing air. You can prevent this completely with one simple step. Porous materials like wood, canvas and concrete are full of tiny air pockets. When warm epoxy hits these surfaces, the air inside naturally expands. It moves upwards and gets trapped in your fresh flood coat. This is why bubbles often appear from the bottom of your project. Surface cleanliness is just as important for a smooth bond. Dust, oils and fingerprints can interfere with how the resin levels. Even a tiny amount of residue can create a crater or an air pocket in high viscosity resin. The professional fix is a proper seal coat. Apply a very thin layer of resin and press it into the grain with a spreader or a gloved hand. This process seals the pores and locks the air deep inside the material. Let this layer become tacky before you pour your main flood coat. This creates a stable foundation for a crystal clear finish. Always finish your prep by wiping the surface with a proper solvent. Once it's dry, avoid touching the area with bare hands. A torch like this is a powerful tool for achieving a flawless bubble-free finish. For high viscosity resins like Craft Resin Tabletop, heat is often the most effective way to clear the surface. Using it correctly ensures a professional result without affecting the cure. When you torch, keep the flame about 6 inches above the surface. Move in smooth, continuous passes as if you were spray painting. If you pause the torch in one spot, the resin can overheat instantly. This might cause yellowing, ripples, or a loss of shine in that specific area. Craft Resin Tabletop is heat resistant, but focused direct flame can still disrupt the chemical balance of the surface. Treat the torch as a finishing tool. Your goal is to warm the air just above the resin, not to blast the material itself. 2 or 3 light passes during the first 30 minutes are usually enough for perfect clarity. Always keep the torch moving to distribute the heat evenly. If you see the bubbles pop, you've done your job. Proper torching technique maintains the integrity of the UV stabilizers and ensures a crystal clear finish. It's the final step in moving from a good project to a professional masterpiece. And that's the complete bubble-free method I rely on for Craft Resin Tabletop Epoxy. Once your environment is right, your resin is warm, your surface is prepped and your torch technique is controlled, your results become consistent, predictable and way more fun. If this video helped you, then share it with someone who's struggling with bubbles, and tell me in the comments what topic you want me to cover next. Thanks for watching. Now go create something beautiful.